Hi, Dr. Allen. This is my reflection on conscious discipline number 1, and I know I'm kind of late on that, and I'm sorry about that. So three things I learned, are I found it really interesting when she talked about values and how we are kind of instilling 2 different value systems through modeling, because we have kind of a set of values that we adhere to when we're calm, and those are kind of our idealistic values. But then we also have other values when we're upset, and the ideas that we have of what our values should be have the tendency to go out the window. So when we practice that, we actually teach children 2 different sets of values, and that also says when you're upset, it's okay to act terrible. And then we wonder why we're annoyed with our children for misbehaving. I also learned, another thing I learned was conflict is a form of communication, as are most behaviors, but we grow up in households or societies where we're taught to avoid conflict, and it's not seen as a form of communication. So we have produced a bunch of people who are kind of like conflict avoidant. So we have to learn how to approach conflict in a way that utilizes it as a learning experience and is seen as a form of communication rather than a disruption. Another thing I learned was, I don't know, I feel like I didn't really learn this because I kind of already knew it, but just the relationship between connections and your behavior. So if you have a better connection with a person, you're going to do a lot more for them. And what I found interesting about this was actually the subtleties of it, because I think it is obvious that when you have a better connection with someone, you will do more for them, but it was these subtle things that would come out within that connection that are kind of indicative of how the relationship is. So for example, maybe things have been going really well with my significant other, and then we have some fight, and all of a sudden I'm not doing something small that I used to do for him. I don't even have a boyfriend, but I don't know, I just found these little things to be very indicative of how you're actually feeling in a more subconscious way. I thought that was really interesting. 2 ways I was personally impacted. Well, one is the whole connections thing that I was just talking about. I was like, ooh, this is how I'm gonna figure out where people are really at together. I was thinking about my friends, and I was like, so-and-so does this for this person but doesn't do it for someone else. And I found that interesting, so we'll see. I might do some analysis on my friends' behavior. Then I guess the other thing that really impacted me was, again, in the connection aspect when she talked about what connection is, and it was eye contact, touch, presence in a playful situation. And I was just kind of thinking about how that's present in my biggest relationships in my life. So that was very interesting to me. And one question I still have, I'm interested to see how you could get a community on board with this style of discipline, because we just had someone in class say, no, I don't think this is right. I was hit all growing up, so I will also hit, which I personally don't, whatever, my personal thoughts are not important, but yeah, how do you get a whole community onto that when we all have grown up with these different ways of being disciplined and carrying out discipline. And often, like, these people aren't going to want to go to 10 one-hour seminars. So how does that work? So thank you.